What up? This is Robert Ory.
Ory, three-pointer. Buries it.
You might know me as Big Shot Bob.
To Ory for three. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts.
What's going on, Big Shot Bob?
Robert Ory from downtown.
Here we go. Here we freaking go. We talked a lot about Team USA.
Yep.
It's time, man. It is time. It's a Big Shot Bob podcast. That is B-Dog Brandon Harper. My name is Rob Jenners. That, of course, the marquee name on the show, if you will, Big Shot Bob. Seven-time NBA champion, Robert Ory. Never got to play for a gold, but...
Oh, you got to bring that up.
I did want to talk a little bit about Team USA, though. Obviously, we get the quarterfinal game against Brazil today. So it's been kind of like a long journey for Team USA, and then I always forget that, like Olympic play, when you hit the medal round, that shit's over in like a week. Like you got to win 3 games in 5 days or you're out. So they get Brazil today, and then the gold medal game is Sunday afternoon. So, yeah, this is it. Make or break. See what they got. Yeah. Interesting bracket, the way it shook out. USA, it looks like they're just going to cruise to the gold medal game. They're huge favorites over Brazil.
I think it's like 27-point favorite.
It's something, yeah. And then they get the winner of Serbia and Australia, which Serbia might have something to say.
Well, Serbia, they should have won today.
Yeah.
Up 24 points and came storming back.
And then the other side of the bracket's pretty interesting. Germany and Greece, and then France and Canada. That's a pretty good game.
Yeah, I think I really want to watch that game.
That's going to be a good game. Yeah.
Out of all the games, even over the USA game, because that's going to be a good matchup. Yeah. 2 good teams.
And then we briefly spoke to the Jason Tatum of it all last week. I mean, as soon as we were done, we hit the garage. I saw Harper when I was walking out, and I was like, he's starting. Tatum was starting that day after everybody was all sideways. But then I did want to bring this up just briefly on the Tatum of it all. This was Stephen A. Smith calling out Steve Kerr, saying it was insulting to Jason Tatum. Jason Tatum ain't even 28. The man's been to 5 conference finals, 2 NBA finals, first team all NBA for the last 3 years. In the process, he swept KD one of those years and is the reigning defending NBA champ who just finished nearly 27 points per game. He was the second best player to Kevin Durant in the games in Tokyo, and before we even go out for warm-ups, you're letting him know, we got 10 players. We're going to play before you. We might not even get to you. Do you have any idea how insulting that is? Was Stephen A's point.
Okay. I get the fact that he didn't play, and I understand that. He should have played. I will say that. But just like I put this in the group chat, some days ago last week when Steve Kerr again had to address the media because Joel Embiid did not play and didn't start. He said, well, he didn't start because it was a matchup issue. He felt against South Sudan that they were too quick off the dribble for Embiid, so they allowed it to go smaller. Or you have somebody like AD in there who's more athletic and can move better. My problem, this is what was my issue. He should not have to continue to address the media about why certain guys are not playing or why certain guys aren't starting. This is ridiculous. This is not the Celtics. This is not the Sixers. These are not individual teams where you're the man on your squad. You can be the man on this team and then still make sacrifices to win the goal. Guess what? Patrick Ewing had to make sacrifices for David Robinson. Ain't nobody go to Chuck Daly all the time talking about why this person didn't start. It's Team USA. Everybody's not going to get all the minutes. KD coming off the bench. He said KD may not start another time during this whole thing. And guess what? It works. He's having to explain himself more for winning than most coaches have to do for losing.
Because the words that just came out of your mouth, Kevin Durant's coming off the bench, just gets into people's brains. It's not because it's wrong or it's not justified. It's just the idea that the best. Here's the thing: you got 10 or 11 of the best players on the planet. You can't. It's not like someone's getting a start. Yeah, it's not like Tatum or Durant isn't getting a start over some scrub. He's they're not getting a start over one of arguably the other best players on the planet.
Kevin Durant is pretty justified. Anybody who knows anything about basketball and sports, period.
Yeah.
I don't give. If you got great players on your team and all of a sudden a guy hasn't practiced, hey, you got to come off the bench.
Right.
You got to earn your way back into the starting lineup. Right. And for me, the one thing that I don't like about Steve Kerr and this whole thing is this is one of my biggest pet peeves. When you adjust your lineup for another team, it pisses me off because that's telling your teammate, your player, that you ain't good enough. And for me, hold up, is it a disadvantage for them or for me? Because think about it, they're too quick for me, but they're not big and strong enough for me. And that's when I hate when these coaches like, oh, I gotta adjust my lineup. In my mind, psychologically, I already fucking got you because you're adjusting your team because you're scared of me. Even though this won't happen in the Olympics because the U.S. team is too fucking good, but me, when coaches adjust their lineups, it's a bunch of crock. It's a crock of shit for me. Because if you're going to adjust it, give that guy the starting minutes, and if it ain't working in the first 3 minutes, sub his ass out. At least give him a chance because he's earned that right throughout a season to earn. I know this is Olympics, but I'm talking about in general. They've earned that right, and that just pisses me off. Like it does it for players. Like, oh shit. You taking me out of lineup because you think, well, what about another? He got to guard me too. So I just hate that shit. So coaches, you're some dumbasses when y'all do that shit.
So how did you feel when he sat Embiid for South Sudan?
I hated it. Even though, I don't want Embiid on the team in the first place. So I hated it.
You deported him like 2 weeks ago. So I mean, Jesus. Yeah.
But I didn't really care because I felt like, I hated it. In the sense of like it's a psychological thing for the other team. So, oh, we got them scared because they're changing their lineup to match up with us. And that's the only aspect. But overall, I didn't really care. And then now if you would say, okay, I'm taking out AD or someone I know can do it on both ends of the floor for some, then I would be really. But in this case, I didn't really care. But overall, I hated it, if that makes sense.
You hated that he didn't play that game at all or that he didn't start?
I don't care about that. I hate that he changed his lineup because I hate when coaches change their lineup because they're afraid of the other team. You know what I mean?
Do you think that he did that, though, because he's afraid of the other team?
Well, if you make a sub and you say you can't handle that, you're afraid that he can't handle that other team. So he's afraid. Okay. And I know it's like, for me, Embiid, number one, he shouldn't be on the team because, he played for two other teams. Number two, you coming off an injury. Your knee is still jacked up. You're wearing that big-ass heavy brace. I know that might be protection, but I just don't think, I don't really care about them. But in the big scheme of things, let's say if that was LeBron or someone, I'd be really pissed off.
Of course, because that's why I say, look, all of these guys are great. There's no debate and there's no argument about the greatness of all of these guys. You're handpicked, for goodness sake. Out of all the guys in the NBA, you all are the few guys that were picked to represent USA in the Olympics. So it's no sweat off anybody's back to say, hey, all of y'all are great. But when you start to look at this team and put them under a microscope, Steve Kerr has said at the beginning that he's going to finagle this starting five so many different ways. One,
he's only going to change two positions, three of them constant.
Well, what I'm saying is there are guys who, Devin Booker has been the only consistent real starter.
LeBron?
I mean,
LeBron, yeah.
outside of okay, here, look. Let me say this. I'm not counting, this is where the hierarchy comes in.
Yeah.
I'm not counting LeBron
or
and
Steph.
I'm not counting Steph. You know why? Because they're part of the top of the hierarchy. Kerr, one, is not going to sit his guy who is Steph Curry, who you need him on the floor for shooting purposes all the time. Nobody on that team is close to shooting like him. No disrespect to Book, no disrespect to any other shooter. That is the greatest shooter of all time, bar none. So there's no argument there. Number two, LeBron James. The man is the flag bearer for USA. He is Captain America. Try sitting him down. It's not happening. So those two guys, I'm putting them to the side. That means there are three more positions left on that floor. He's been interchanging the... Who? You said two.
Yeah. Booker ain't going nowhere, man.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, Booker.
I know what you're saying.
Booker's been the most consistent.
But
he's been the most consistent.
He doesn't have enough. He doesn't have enough legendary status yet.
Of course.
To be,
Oh,
yeah, I get what you're saying.
And I'm gonna say this: if KD wasn't healthy, it'd be three non-negotiables, and it'd only be two positions that we'd be talking about because KD is up there with Steph and LeBron. Those are your three guys who you can say, I don't care what the matchup is. I'm rolling y'all out there. You know why? because y'all are who y'all are, and you have proven that over the years. You're 3 future Hall of Famers. You're some of the 3 the best scorers of all time in your respective ways. I don't care who we play against. You 3 are going to be out there, and we'll work on the other 2 spots.
I will say this about this team. When you watch this team, to me, there's 4 players that can like fit on any team anywhere. That's AD, LeBron, Bam, and Holiday. And you can tell, like in KD, I'm sorry, in KD 5.
I was finna say.
You can tell like everybody else, even with Steph. Steph is struggling shooting because he's not getting the abundance of shot. The plays are not ran for him.
Right.
So he's struggling. And then you look at like Embiid. Embiid just looks lost because every play doesn't run through it. And at times, Booker is on that wave where he's been up and down.
Right.
But the other guys are like, you just know they're just fucking good, man. They can adjust the IQ, the system. It doesn't matter what system you throw them in, they're going to excel. You know, even like times with Tatum, he wouldn't pass it and he tried to make a move on 2. Even with White came down and took a couple of bad shots. I'm like, what the fuck you doing? There's the greatest shooter over there. You a 30% shooter, and this guy's a 50% shooter. And to me, that's like, no, it's like, do I do what I'm supposed to do? Am I trying to get mine? And so you can tell, even LeBron has passed up shots. Holiday has passed up shots. Bam is killing it right now. And for me, you can tell those 5 guys are the guys that say, you know what? I'm a baller. It don't matter who you put me with. You ain't got to run fucking plays for me. I'll figure that shit out. So that's one thing. Those 5 guys are just, I've just been impressed by it. Okay, you can add Ant-Man in there too, but Ant-Man is still kind of like, you know, what do I do? He's still not as confident as the other 5 guys. When I say confidence, that don't mean in his game,
right,
but in the confidence in the system.
Right. I think the good thing about Team USA and accumulating this level of talent is it forces you out. Well, I would think psychologically, it will force you to recognize what's a good shot and what's not. Because number one, you're not getting as many attempts.
You should say great shot because
right,
it's a great shot.
Great shot.
It's a big difference, yeah.
Because, you know, these guys on their respective teams, Ant-Man getting 20-some-odd shots a game. So he can take bad shots knowing that he's going to get the ball again. You know, LeBron, these guys that are the man on their team are going to get 20-plus shots a game, so a bad shot here and there is not going to matter. On this team, it does matter, one, because of minutes. You're not playing the same minutes. You're not starting every game. And Kerr could possibly pull you for somebody else if that's not what. If you're not
you
looking
go
away.
1 for 4, and all of a sudden you're on the bench. You
and
know
it's
what I
not
mean?
because you're not a great player. See, that's the type of, you got to be able to put your ego to the side on Team USA.
Right.
You have to be, because everybody's here to win a goal. You got to understand that I was chosen personally to help get this team to the gold medal game, and to be the team that stands in the middle on that podium, hoisting that gold medal.
Yeah,
and so
talking about gold medals is fun.
You know,
I think that's kind of where I am on the whole thing at this point. Everyone wants to see them win. I don't know if there's a lot of people betting against them. They're just too freaking good. No matter how many other NBA guys are scattered across Canada and Greece and some of these other lineups, I think. But this is like an exhibition game. Like, why are we putting ego into it? Because it's like, who gives a shit who starts and who doesn't? We're all getting a gold medal.
Be honored.
We
Yeah,
all
you should
got
be honored just
to.
to be
All
on
we
the
got to
team.
do is play like a smarter all-star game here. Okay,
I'll tell
we
you why
just
ego's
gotta run
involved.
people and have fun and smile and play your part and fuck ego, because you're going home with a gold medal if you just put it to the side.
You are right, theoretically. You are right, theoretically.
Hey,
but
so
in
let me
real,
ask you this: out of all, I know I've been kind of glued to watching the Olympics. I will say this: out of watching the Olympics, I've been impressed like twice. I remember Christian Faulkner, the cyclist who wasn't even supposed to be in it.
Is this the guy
Oh,
who finished
my
like a
goodness.
minute
No,
ahead of
the girl.
everybody?
The woman.
Oh, okay.
Faulkner, she just like blew, like she was back, and she's like just coming. She was a minute 30 behind, then 30 behind, and then she got to that like last like 5-mile stretch, and she just took off. She was impressive. And then it's the discus girl. That girl, she's from Austin,
Holy
Texas.
crap.
Oh my goodness,
Dude,
I'm
she
like,
threw that thing like a frisbee, man. That thing took off. It's like
Yeah,
70-something yards or some shit. That thing went a long
it's just like,
way.
like sports you would never watch, and then
No,
you sit down,
of course
you watch them, you're so impressed. We watch gymnastics, we watch 100 meters, we watch all that. We know those people are great and they're the GOATs, but when you get these obscure sports that you don't watch, I'm just so impressed by them.
absolutely.
Katie Ledecky. I mean, just to watch her. I mean, at one point they were showing. I don't know if it was one of the relays. I can't remember what the race was, but I was watching it, and she was so far ahead of everybody that it was just like America had finished and no other swimmers even came into the frame yet. Like, they were just American flag in the pool and nobody else in there. It was just like, okay, I guess so. Yeah, every now and then you get to see. And Simone Biles, man, after what she went through 4 years ago and getting her head right and everything that was going on with her, and I mean, she's come back like just a tear.
Oh yeah,
just a tear.
And
could be.
But every time they dive into that damn water, I'd be like, yeah.
Apparently, the river is just full of E. coli and all kinds of shit.
They said they spent over $1 billion trying to clean that stuff out.
But did you hear where they told everybody to take a shit in it?
No.
Yes, it was. I don't know the story how, but they were so mad.
They told who? All the French people?
They told the French people to go down and take a shit in the water.
Take a dump in the river?
Yeah.
What? Who told the French people to do this?
I think 2 teams backed out because they're like, no, the water's just too nasty. I'm not going to do it. My health is more important than the damn medal.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
that's
shit.
freaking gross.
Disgusting.
That's gross, dude. It has been fun to watch the Olympics, though. What's his name? Let's jump way ahead, but we were talking about it. The 100-meter men's race.
Ooh.
Wow. I mean, dude, I've never. They had a still, and it was Noah Lyles.
Couldn't tell who won.
Noah Lyles ended up winning.
Yeah.
But I mean, there was a still of Noah Lyles leaning over, and another guy literally it appeared to be like maybe 3-4 inches his face behind Noah Lyles didn't medal. It was like, what? Like, that's how it was. Like, gold, silver, bronze were within 0.005 seconds of each other.
You work your butt off for 4 years
for 5,000ths of a second.
That's crazy.
It takes I think 100th of a second to blink.
Yeah, I thought the guy from Brazil had won. Not Brazil. No, was
Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Yeah, it was
Jamaica had won it.
They called it for him.
That was his first Olympic. Yeah.
Yeah, they called it for him.
And I thought he had won it because I'm like, this is what I want to know. I'm glad you guys brought this up. Is it the first part of your body to cross, or is it your face or your head to cross? What is it? I don't know. I don't know what part is it. What did it go
it's a
by?
good question. So you're saying, like, if everybody was that close, if some dude just reached his hand out, would he have won the race? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, is it your hand, your foot, your face, your torso?
From what I saw, and I got from the first glance or a couple of glances at the picture that Rob was talking about, it looked like not only was Noah Lyles leaning a little further in, but his foot looked like his hit the line before everybody else's did as well. Like, I'm looking like, okay, how do you, just with the naked eye, how do you determine this? Yeah. And I'm looking at every aspect.
That was impossible with the naked eye.
But I realized, and this may not be the reason, but his foot had hit the line, like the finish line, before. Not only was he leaning, but his foot had hit the finish line before everybody else's did. So maybe that was a factor. It could have been a whole lot of factors within that very, very, very small frame that decided that made him the winner. Because he actually said that he told the Jamaican guy, he was like, "Bro, I think you got it," and he was surprised to see that he got it. So that's just how close it is when you talk about that kind of speed.
Noah Lyles, by the way, was the guy who sparked the controversy a few months ago about the NBA champions. Yeah, you're not world champs. You're just the NBA champs. You're not the world champs, because we do that shit at the Olympics. So he started that and put that to bed pretty quick by winning. So good for him. But that's one of the crazy races I've ever seen in the Olympics. Yeah. That was just nuts. Last thing on the Olympics, and we're going to move on to a few other things. We had Booker.
I think they should make him run it again.
Yeah, best 2 out of 3. Let's go. Come on.
Exactly.
Come on. Devin Booker said and I think he's right, said in an interview with the New York Times this week, "I feel like all the best talent in the world is in the NBA. And this is coming from an Olympic gold medalist who believes that being an NBA champion is probably harder than becoming an Olympic gold medalist." And he's probably right.
Yeah, I think he might be right. I think he might be right. I just,
Olympic gold's easier to win than an NBA title.
Yeah.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah, because you got to fucking make the Olympic team.
Oh, true.
Well, there's that. Yeah. Well, there's that. Yeah, I mean, if you're not on the Olympic team, it's really hard to win Olympic gold. Yeah.
No, I feel like it's easier. To
I
win
feel like
Olympic
it's.
gold because you can
so
put
easy.
the best talent. Yeah, you can put the best talent. Even though you're the top 5 players in the NBA all from foreign countries, but you can still put those guys together. It's basketball is still the United States sport. So let's get that right.
Yeah, I feel like, because here's the thing: if you're going to win an NBA title, you're going to do it with 8 or 9 other guys that weren't even in conversation for the Olympic team. Like, you're going to have to drag along some dudes that are not hitting shots, that are not running formation. And
why are you talking about me, man? I'm right here.
You're right here. Yeah. By the way, when I think about people who got dragged through the finals, it's Big Shot Bob. Yeah, that was the guy who really, man, we had to really pick up after him.
Oh,
Jesus
shit.
Christ, how many freaking teams did you bail out in your day? Jesus. But I feel like, I mean, when you have a team of the best players in the world, like we just talked about, how can you not win Olympic gold? I mean, even the years that the USA stumbled, we've looked at that team and been like, the fuck? How? how have you struggled here? If you've lost at the World Championships or at FIBA or wherever they've lost.
Well, if you think about all the times when the U.S. has lost, it wasn't really the best team. It wasn't really the best players.
It was the guys who were willing to play.
It was the guys who were willing to play. Even though KD has been there the whole time, he didn't have the supporting cast like he has now in past teams. There's a couple of teams you're like, well, this guy didn't play. Think about it. This is Steph's first time.
Right.
It's his first time.
Yeah.
And he's been great in the NBA for 12 years now.
Oh, every bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I feel like NBA Olympic gold.
Yeah, outside of making the team, sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I got you. All right, let's a couple other things. I got 2 pieces of audio we're gonna get to in a second, but I did want to mention have you been down to crypto at all, or
not since the new statue?
I can't imagine you had been, but yeah, the new statue's up, the Kobe and Gianna statue, the girl dad tribute, where he's sitting next to her and he's kind of kissing her on the head, and I'm not gonna lie, that really hit me. That really, holy cow, that hit me, because it's got the quote on it that says, "Gianna's the best. She's better than I was at her age. She's got it. Girls are amazing. I'd have 5 more girls if I could. I'm a girl dad." Mm-hmm. And it said it's attributed to Kobe Bryant, most valuable girl dad. And as a dad of a daughter, that hits you, holy cow, square between the eyes. Beautiful statue, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was a private ceremony, and they didn't let that many people in it, and so it was. I saw the pictures early of it, so I was really, I'll be honest, that one looks way better than Kobe's alone statue to me. Yeah.
I agree. It's really, really well done.
Yeah, very well done.
I mean, the forms, the colors, everything, the way it's put to the bench, the way the wings are and stuff, it really is. Yeah. If you haven't seen it, go online and just look it up real quick, because it's gorgeous, and I think really a fitting tribute. All right, we got 2 pieces of audio to get to. Then we're gonna do Big Shot of the Week and Shootout. We're gonna start with Draymond Green. I don't know. Did you see any of this? It's kind of all over social.
I've been watching the Olympics.
You've been on the Olympics.
All I've been doing.
It was all over social the last couple of weeks. Draymond was at a camp for high school kids. And he kind of leans into him here about the fact that they spent a lot of time hunting fouls and crying about the calls they weren't getting. So I'm going to play the audio of Draymond, and we'll get your reaction.
But y'all chasing the game like all young dudes do. Come down, I need to get a 3. And ain't nobody Steph Curry. But everybody want to get to 3. Shooting it well. And then y'all cried about every call that was called. I get a lot of texts. So I'm actually fucked up on that part. But it's also cost me $2.5 million. I was this close from, by the way, not giving y'all 1. And there's nothing any of y'all can say. So why we crying about calls? Let's pick up. He ain't say nothing about a foul. He ain't say nothing about a foul. Say, yo, we still had the ball. And y'all crying about every call. Why? Who's done something? Think the game, man. Stop crying. Everybody crying about a foul, crying about a travel, crying about this. And ain't nobody proved nothing. And all the guys crying are the ones that ain't done nothing. Come on, man. Let's have a good run. That's good. And we'll take the game from...
Nice. I like the end of the coach. Like, good pep talk, Draymond.
You want to go? You want me to go?
You can go. Hey, the blind can't lead the blind, man.
I've got so many mixed emotions on this. Go ahead.
Everybody.
I understand what he's saying, but I go, man, because it's just, now take what you just said and apply it to yourself coming into the season.
Now hold up a mirror.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, we all do it. We all get emotional. We're emotional people. And when you get caught up, but it's getting to a point now where it starts with LeBron. It starts with, KD. It starts with Booker. All these guys, every time a foul is called, I think Derek White is the only one I see foul. Like old days, raise his hand. Yeah, I fouled it. Nobody's perfect. You're going to foul. Accept the foul. The refs are not perfect. Just move on. And it's just getting to a point now where I think it's going to start with the NBA. They're going to have to send out a note, say, yo, you get one time to cry about a foul. Second one is a tech. And then it'll cut out some of this crime, which would trickle down because everybody watches the NBA. College watches the NBA. High school watches college and the NBA. And they see this happening. They're like, okay, let's cut that shit out. Let's cut it out now.
That speech was the perfect do as I say, not as I do type of moment.
Yes, it was.
Now, he did say something, and it made me think. He said, he made it as though in order for you to complain the way that y'all do, y'all aren't in the NBA. Y'all aren't playing at the highest level. Y'all don't have that. Y'all don't have the cachet, nor do you have the notoriety to be able to complain the way that you do. The problem with that is these guys watch y'all. So they think that they can take that and then apply it on their level. Well, because if my favorite player is crying about everything, then sure enough, I can cry about everything because I'm gonna look at the example that's being set on the highest level. So it's you can't sit up here and say, hey, you can't do this because you're not in the NBA. But then at the same time, they're looking at you in the NBA as the example. So something's got to give. That's the perfect do as I say and not as I do. They're always going to do what you do. That's why so many dudes want to shoot threes and be like Steph. Steph can sit up and say, y'all shouldn't be doing this. They going to do it because they see you taking it all the time. Now, they may not be you. They don't care nothing about what you're saying. They watch what you do. They watch them games all the time. They're going to continue to do that.
This is my mother telling me not to smoke as she's working on a pack of menthols. You know what I mean? This is what this is. This is what this is. It is. He starts his little rant about, now I get a lot of texts, and that shit's cost me $2.5 million. But I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys why it's a bad idea. So for me, it's like, look, if you want to, and kids at that age, you got to, give them some motivation, dude. Don't tell them you can't do this, you can't do that. We all know this. There's nothing a kid will go completely against immediately when the minute you say you can't. Don't do this. I don't want to see this. You guys can't complain. And it's like, hold on, wait. Like Harp just said, like you just said, Rob, like you guys are doing it. We're watching it in the league. We're watching all of you cry for fouls and cry over the calls you don't get and flop all over the day. Way to make rules against flopping, so that you would stop hunting for bullshit. And it's like, and then you get the nerve, turn around, tell a bunch of kids, hey, don't do that. Who do you guys think you are? They're kids. They need direction. They need help. They need motivation. They don't need you to tell them, yeah, but you're not an NBA player. Well, yeah, no shit. We're in high school. Help us. Help us figure it out. And I don't know. I have a hard time swallowing any advice from Draymond Green at this point.
No,
I think if he wanted to say something, he said, instead of using that energy to cry about, channel that energy into something else.
Right.
Channel that energy and
give
get
them a
into the
direction.
bucket.
Right.
Challenge that energy to play hard on defense. Don't use that. That's a certain way you could have, manipulated that statement and said, hey, quit bitching about fouls and get your ass back on defense. Quit bitching about fouls and, get that extra board, So I think he should have used it in a way to challenge them in a different way.
Yeah, I agree. Anyway, consider the source, I guess is the point. I do want to play this audio from Chris Canty real quick, and then we'll do our big shot of the week, and we got Shootout coming out by request on
Chris
Twitter.
Canty.
Chris Canty, ESPN's Unsportsmanlike show on ESPN Radio. They were talking about the Pro Football Hall of Fame ceremony in Canton this past weekend, and the man who stole the show was Michael Jordan. All the more cementing the fact that he's the GOAT. Listen to Chris.
In his acceptance remarks, defensive end Julius Peppers said, and I quote, "This isn't in my speech, but I'm going to say it anyways. And while I'm talking about Chapel Hill in North Carolina, and I know this is the Pro Football Hall of Fame, I ain't going to sit up here and act like my idol. And one of the reasons that I went to Chapel Hill isn't in the building. The GOAT is in the building. Michael Jordan, MJ, I want to thank you for the inspiration and the memories. Love you, big bro," end quote. Even amongst the greatest football players of all time, the reaction and the reverence that they showed for Michael Jordan is next level. LeBron could never. LeBron could never.
CC, get him!
LeBron just could never. Like, I'm sorry, LeBron James could never. That's why MJ is the GOAT. We saw this at the NBA top 75 anniversary, like when all of the players on the top 75 team were announced, and then Michael Jordan was the last one, and everything parted like the Red Sea to let Michael Jordan get to the middle of the podium where they had him standing alone and everyone else around him. But this was just an extension of that. We're at the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Canton, Ohio, and yet Michael Jordan was the center of attention.
Steals the show.
So LeBron could never.
I got a question, and it's on topic, but it's kind of a little bit out. And, we always say continue, God rest his soul. Could you imagine what that top 75 ceremony would have been like with Kobe and Mike there? Like, could you imagine the applause that Kobe would have gotten being there with Michael Jordan? I mean, from every aspect. You saw those guys running to Mike, and obviously so. But do you know what that photo op and just the whole vibe would have been like with Kobe and Mike there? Mm-hmm. Like, obviously they did the tribute and everything, but I think about that sometimes, like all the moments that we could have seen Kobe and Mike together if Kobe was still here. And that moment alone right there, you just think about it. I just thought about that as he was mentioning Mike and how all the guys reverenced him at the NBA 75. It was just a thought. I just wanted to bring that up. I just thought it would have been an amazing moment.
The key thing that you got to understand is, like, Michael Jordan went to college.
Yeah.
Kobe didn't. LeBron didn't. Just think about if Kobe went to Duke, LeBron went to Ohio State. Mm-hmm. And you think about if they'd have did what they did, now everybody's like, I want to follow in their footsteps. Mm-hmm. I think that's why the allure of those two guys isn't like Mike, because Mike has Chapel Hill behind him. Yeah. They could think about those two guys would have had. I don't know if how Ohio State's known for basketball, so we're going to like scratch that one with LeBron, but he could have put it on the map. Mm-hmm. But think about if Kobe would have went to Duke. Duke already has being one of the best basketball programs. Think about it. Now I
don't know if I would have been able to stomach Duke fans if Kobe went to Duke. Like, I
know
mean,
it, right?
They're hard enough as it is now.
Yeah.
I mean, God.
So, and think about that. Think about the rivalry. How much better it would have been if Kobe went to Duke. Now you got the Duke, North Carolina thing with him and Mike. Who's the best player? You take that to a whole nother level, right? So that's the one thing that to me, I'm always pissed about it. These guys don't go to college, man. I know everybody saying you denying them a way to make money, but college is something special. It teaches you how to communicate. It teaches you how to deal with other people on your team before you step into a man's world. So I just think that, think about it. That's the one thing that separates Mike from the rest, because now you got guys that says, okay, I ain't going straight to the NFL, but I know MJ went to North Carolina. I love him. I'm going to play the NC, be like Mike. So that's the thing that kind of like these guys that are missing out that MJ has.
Yeah.
Well, and I think too what Chris Canty's missing in this point that he's making is when you want to look at LeBron James compared to Michael Jordan. Mm-hmm. Michael Jordan has a legacy in the sense that he hasn't played basketball in 20 plus years. LeBron James is still in the league. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, let's have this conversation in 20 years from now. When guys that grew up watching LeBron James dominate the NBA, get inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame and go, let's not ignore the fact that LeBron James is here. Like, that was my guy when I was a kid.
Right.
Jordan was our guy when, or at least for me, he was one of my guys when I was a kid. When I was a huge NBA fan in the 80s and 90s, coming up as a youngster, Jordan was like the guy. He was the man. I mean, we watched him not only just win 3 in a row, then we watched him more or less quit and then come back and just get right back into it and end up winning freaking 3 more. Like, and then at that point it was like, that's it. That's legacy. You watched the man dominate a decade of the NBA handily win multiple MVPs, win tons of titles, earn that respect, and then sit on that for 20 years. So, yes, the guys that are going in the Hall of Fame now, they grew up with Jordan. Of course there's reverence for Jordan. 20 years from now, let's have the same conversation about LeBron James. So.
It's weird that, speaking of MJ, MJ had the first super team, right? He had the first big three.
Yeah, Pippen, Rodman.
Jordan. And Jordan. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to, you can throw Kukoc in there. People forget how fucking good Kukoc was.
Yeah, Kukoc was good.
And then you forget how good fucking Ron Harper was.
Well, and Bill Cartwright was a contributor to that team.
Team.
Yeah, they had a lot of strong. I mean, look, it wasn't obviously all on Jordan, but it was. You looked at what Chicago did in those 94, 95 years, and that's no slight to the Rockets, for Christ's sake. It's no slight to Robert Horry's Rockets, but they weren't the Bulls of the early 90s without Mike. He was just that damn good, man.
Yeah.
And every time he was on the floor, he was the best player on the floor. And I think everybody in the NBA knew it. And we grew up watching him just like walk out on the floor and everybody go, oh shit, here we go. All right, here comes Jordan. It's just, he was one of those guys. And I don't agree with the whole LeBron could never idea, because I feel like in time, LeBron absolutely will be revered that way.
Yeah, it's all about timing. Right now LeBron's still playing. You got this kid. Let's take this. Let's say CeeDee Lamb. Because I'm talking CeeDee Lamb. He's holding out.
I was gonna say he's holding out in Dallas. What are you bringing him up for?
Because I talked to him the other day, and so it's funny because I talked to Cameron, who was telling me about what he was saying. My son Cameron. So when he goes into the Hall of Fame, eventually, he's probably going to reference Kobe or LeBron. He don't even know who. Think about it. He didn't watch my son and him the same age. They didn't know who the fuck Michael Jordan was. They know his shoes, but they didn't watch him play.
Right.
They watched LeBron play, they watched Kobe play. So that's the point you're making. These guys now are probably going to reference, those guys like Patrick Mahomes. Those guys are going to reference like a LeBron or a Kobe or someone like that.
Yeah, I mean it's your youth. It's what you watch that guy dominate when you were a kid. It's like the same thing when you bring up like Joe Montana. There's today's and NFL fans, they don't know from Joe Montana. And you're like, no, he was like one of the best ever. They're like, who? It's just a name.
Say it ain't so, Joe.
It's just a name to them. They never watched that guy play.
Yeah.
All right, let's do Big Shot of the Week, and then we're going to play Shootout, which I think you guys will have fun with. Big Shot of the Week is going to go to 11-year-old Patrick Hayes of Cumming, Georgia. Here's why. Patrick, at 11 years old, has become a top 100 finalist in the USA Mullet Championship. Little man in Cumming, Georgia, right around the corner from us, rocking an all-star mullet.
Joe Dirt.
He's been growing it. The Joe Dirt, man. He's been growing it since he was 7. He now has a shot to win the $5,000 kids division prize at by the way, the USA Mullet Championships, which is a thing.
Is it in Georgia?
No, I think it's an out-of-state thing. I think it might be Ohio or something. I don't know. It started as like a community event somewhere, and it's grown into like a national competition now. They select the 3 most majestic mullets later this month.
I got to look this up so I can see this shit.
Dude, I looked up their website when I was reading about this story with this kid, and it is a blast just to go through all the pictures of these dudes rocking their Joe Dirt mullets, dude. It's really funny.
I'm a backtrack. Speaking of Olympics, how about the I think it's a guy from the Philippines, a gymnast. He won like a silver, and so there was given all the things that hit the Philippines, all the things that the country's going. He get ramen, free ramen and cookies for the rest of his life. And he get free colonoscopies for the rest of his life. Like, how many damn colonoscopies you gonna get in your lifetime?
How do you win that? Actually, you know what? I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
But that's the things you get from your country after you win a medal.
How many colonoscopies do they say do they recommend you go get?
It depends on if you get any polyps found. Like, I've had 2.
So.
And I'm 53.
Okay.
Nah, I'm good.
I'm not scheduled to get another one for another 5 years.
Yeah, you get if they want you to go back, you have to. I think it's every 5 years.
Every
right?
5 years.
I think it's sort of the MO, but that's not
a prize.
No,
Hey, the process is not a prize.
it's like a
I'm
Cracker
telling
Jack
you.
box. The prize is in there. you gotta find it.
Nah, that ain't.
It's in
Think
there.
about it. What would a gymnast do with lifetime free cookies? You know, he probably, and this is when this dude's like straight fit. I'm like, damn. What am I
Yeah,
gonna do?
but some of them don't. Some of their diets ain't the best. Like there are some people they just a lot of people eat bad, but they work out so much that they're able to. And obviously, your
the
metabolism slows down as you get older, so you may have to pause on the cookies. But them folks don't always eat the best. They just work out so much that it kind of offsets that type of stuff.
I just thought that was interesting because you think about what people win or what they get for being in the Olympics. And
I didn't even think about that. Yeah, how you like? And that's all right. So this is the question, and I think the answer is no. But are any of these NBA players getting paid?
Yeah.
No.
Are they not?
No, you don't get paid.
The
for
Olympics,
being
you
on
don't get paid,
No, but
right?
they get paid a little for winning gold.
sponsorships. You don't get anything.
Oh,
They
I
get
thought
some
you-
sponsorship money.
They get
I would imagine they get some
sponsorships.
Nike
Like, yeah.
sponsorship money or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like this guy. Oh, also they gave him a furnished apartment. So he is like he's the only guy who's ever medaled for his country. So they just like shower him with all these different gifts. Yeah.
Interesting.
That's a gift.
And your free colonoscopies. So good luck with that.
Cookies and a colonoscopy.
Oh,
Cookies and a colonoscopy. The name of this week's show.
Oh, one more little thing. I don't know if y'all heard. FIU is renaming its football stadium Pitbull Stadium. Pitbull bought the naming rights for the FIU stadium.
I didn't hear that,
He's
no.
going to pay $1.2 million for 5 years to hold the naming rights. I think it's called now it's called like Pitbull Stadium or something like that.
Wow. I did not hear that.
Yep.
First of all, I'm going to use my real name, whatever his real name is, with Pitbull in the middle.
No, why would anybody care about your real name?
His branding is Pitbull.
It's Pitbull.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: when you walk by Pitbull Stadium, oh, they like dogs. That's the first thing you said when you said Pitbull Stadium. I'm like,
Rob, where's FIU?
It's in Miami.
So people know exactly what they mean when they say Pitbull in Miami.
but if I'm a visitor,
You got to go home eventually.
I'm just saying though. Eventually, though, yeah, you got to go home. But for me, when you name something, you like Pitbull. When you say Pitbulls, I think of Storm, my dog, a Pitbull.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
I'm not from the bottom, but still though, it's like I would want my name in there, my government name in there with quotations around my nickname, Pitbull, to let them know it's me.
Hold on, let me see. Let's see.
So no Big Shot Bob stadiums. It's going to be Robert, Big Shot,
Ori.
I hate the stadium. I hate the stadium.
The FIU
I would have
board.
just wanted the Big Shot Arena or something, man. Fucking simplify.
Yep.
Stay on brand.
The FIU Board of Trustees voted Tuesday to approve a 5-year deal to give the name Pitbull Stadium give them the name Pitbull Stadium, which is currently known as FIU Stadium.
Well, right. And I think, God, what's their logo or their mascot too? I can't remember. But it's like,
You're like a hurricane or some shit.
no, that's the Miami
That's
Hurricanes.
Miami.
Yeah, that's UM. That's UM. FIU is something different. Yeah, I don't know. It's something different completely. But she's just gonna drive me nuts now. But yeah, they're all right. Well, look, good for him. I guess you give a school enough money, they'll do whatever the hell
It's a
you
Panther.
want. The FIU Panthers.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, interesting. All right, well, let's get to this week's game here.
Okay.
All right, Shootout is back. Shootout is I give you guys a topic. You just have to go back and forth providing answers until one of you can no longer do so. As in question number 1, which honestly, I'm going to challenge you, both of you. There are 20 correct answers to this question.
Can I take this call real quick?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Pause on this real quick.
That's okay.
Now I'm interested to see what the question is. Now I get time to think about it. What's the question? What's the question?
What, I'm having to fucking cheat? Float you the question? Yo, what'd you get for number 7, man?
Hey,
number
hey,
7?
move your fucking elbow, man.
Hey,
Move your elbow.
dude. Just let me see the extra credit. What'd you put?
Slide to the left.
Just put. Okay, all right, I got it. Okay.
Hey, You ever did that when it's sitting there, you tap them on the side and then tell them to scoot over? Man, I can't put paper over to them.
Oh, I've done that all the time. You know how many times I've kicked someone under the table and they look at me and I'm like, give them that move. You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right, I'm just gonna restart the game.
All right.
All right, here we go. Shootout.
I tried to get let me cheat.
You tried to what?
Rob's trying to cheat.
I was trying to
Rob's
cheat.
trying to cheat.
Well, this first one you should know a lot about. So I mean,
All right, we'll see how it's. All right, so there are. Let me correct myself here. There are 16 correct answers to this question. I feel like you guys should be able to pull all 16.
oh sure, but we only got 10 seconds.
It's no. You just go back and forth until one of you
okay,
can't
bet.
come up with an answer.
Okay.
So it's time for Team USA. We talked about to show what they're worth. The shootout is members and coaches of the original 92 Dream Team.
Okay.
Rob, you can go first.
The motherfucker that shouldn't have been on there, Christian Laettner.
Yeah, he is. Okay, there's one.
Hey, I got some animosity. Only one college guy was on there, and it should have been me.
Oh, man. You and Shaq are going to have to fight that one out because Shaquille has screamed many times over. It should have been him.
So you said Laettner,
He said Laettner.
Jordan.
Okay, Rob.
I'm naming all the white guys first. Larry Bird, because this is the last time you're going to see this many white guys on an Olympic basketball team.
Wow.
Okay, well I'll go along with that theme and say Mullen.
Chris Mullen, very good.
Stockton.
John Stockton was on there.
I'll go Barkley,
Okay.
Pip.
Yep.
David Robinson,
Yep.
My teammate, Clyde the Glide.
Clyde Glide Drexler.
Mr. Magic Johnson.
Magic Johnson.
Since you in the M field, the mailman.
The mailman.
There's one. Ewing.
Yep. Okay, I think that's all the players.
No, it's
You say David Robinson? Did we say
Yeah.
that?
yeah. No, it's actually I think it's one more.
Can
I say it?
Shit.
Go ahead.
Drexler.
No, he said Clyde.
I
you
said
said
my
He
teammate.
said Clyde.
Oh, we got one, but
All right,
still
so
one more.
you got.
Because you said coaches daily.
Oh no, I said there's 4 coaches on this team.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So that's where we are now. We're down to the 4 coaches.
Now we going. The only reason Christian
Harp
Laettner was
got
on
Daly.
the fucking team, Coach K.
Coach K. All right, so now Harp, you got 2 coaches left on
Oh,
the Dream Team. That's where we are.
Dang, this is where we got to.
I know.
Man, I can't think of the other 2 unless I just can't remember. Oh,
The miming was
it's not
absolute perfection. Absolute perfection.
That's not PJ
Yeah.
Carlissimo.
Yeah, it sure
Yeah,
was.
PJ Carlissimo. I forgot that was what's his name that choked him out.
If Sprewell.
Sprewell,
That's
yeah.
Trell, man. Choked his ass out. If you, by the way, if you're on the audio podcast, Rob was making a strangling at the
Because
camera.
I knew exactly who he was when he did that.
And Rob, do you know the last coach?
Lenny.
That was right, Lenny Wilkins. Good job. All right, you guys pulled them all. I figured you would. I figured you should be able to pull all.
Oh, because I got a lot of animosity towards this team.
Toward Lenny.
No, this whole team. That's my one goal I had ever.
Oh,
outside
yeah.
of making the NBA was to be an Olympic team. So
Well,
that was my year.
that was it. All right, number 2. This one's going to be a little trickier. We had a rough go of things in the stock market this week. Rob's NBA pension
I
is
lost a lot of
basically
money.
gone. Yeah, Rob's NBA pension is gone.
Jeez.
So here's the shootout. By market cap, the 50 largest companies on the stock exchange.
B, you can go first.
So the biggest companies in the world
Apple.
is, of course, number 1.
Microsoft.
Is number 2.
Meta.
Meta's number 6, yeah.
Who?
Instagram.
Facebook. Instagram.
Oh, Walmart.
Walmart is on there. Number 11.
Tesla.
Tesla is on here out of order, but
it?
yes, they're number 8. Number 8.
Okay. Fuck it. What's it? Shit. What's the thing called?
Yeah, that's it.
Fuck.
I don't think any of
Amazon.
these- There you go. Amazon number 5.
I think JP Morgan is there.
JP Morgan Chase is number 10.
Yeah. Shit. I can't think of that now right now. I can't think of what's the fucking group. since they just pulled out with $1 billion, I'm going.
With who?
They just pulled out of the Olympics for $1 billion.
Who?
I'm gonna go. It's I don't know.
All right, yeah, you're out at this point. Point for Harper. Let's see, you missed Google.
They got Visa. I think
Visa and MasterCard were both on there, yeah. Pepsi, Netflix, Coca-Cola,
Sony?
Samsung. No,
I was
Sony
trying to think of
was not in the top
Samsung.
50.
I was trying to think of
Samsung was there.
Sony's not in the top 50?
No, not in the top 50.
Really?
Home Depot, Oracle,
Home Depot,
that kind of stuff. Berkshire Hathaway, which is the
Berkshire Hathaway,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
the big one that Warren Buffett owns.
Yeah.
All right,
The
point for
Brooks
Harper.
and Brooks on there.
What was that?
Brooks and Brooks.
No, they were not on there. All right, here we go. Number 3. Michigan, good old Michigan. We didn't talk about Michigan in college football this week. Is about to get walloped by the NCAA for the sign stealing allegations.
Yeah,
They
and
got-
old freaky ass Michigan too, sending them text messages.
Oh my God! Did you read some of those texts?
Yes.
dude?
What?
All right,
I
so
missed out on this. What
all
happened?
right, we'll talk about it in the shoot around of the bonus show on
Okay.
Friday. So if you want to hear Rob's reaction as he gets the first read on some of these Michigan texts from Connor Stallions and Sharon Moore, holy crap! So Michigan's about to get clubbed. So here's the shootout. College football mascots in the top 25. So I don't want the school. I want the name of the team.
Oh, name the team, not the
like-
mascot.
Not the mascot, but the
Oh,
team
okay.
name.
So we could just say like Alabama.
No. You got to say Crimson Tide.
Oh, you can't give him that because that's the way.
okay.
Look,
That's
you know,
that's
I'm
look, that's
asking,
that's
I'm
your
asking.
that should be your first one.
Yeah.
So
I'm
that's
asking,
what I'm
I'm
looking
asking.
for an example. So I don't want Alabama. I want Crimson Tide.
yeah,
Okay.
And we're looking for teams in the top 25.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You might as well
So
start it off, Rob.
He did. He
Okay.
gave you the first one. So
No, I
Art,
was
you
trying to
go.
make sure. So
That's okay.
Crimson Tide.
All right. Go ahead, Art.
Well, it's the number 1 team in the nation, the Georgia Bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
Seminoles.
Are they in the top 25?
They are not in the top 25.
Really? The
You can
Seminoles aren't in
believe
the top
that. Oh, no, they
25?
are. No, I'm
I was
kidding.
gonna say.
I'm going down the list. I'm like, where the shit are they? I don't see them. You know, they're there. They're there.
Tennessee Volunteers.
The Volunteers are up there.
Blue Devils.
Of who?
Duke Blue Devils.
We said football, not basketball.
Oh, football?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
I'm
lost
sorry.
his-
NCAA top 25. College
okay.
football kicks off in like
Okay, let me
14
get-
days.
My bad. I was thinking you said mascots and what,
No. Football.
Hurricanes.
Miami Hurricanes. Yes, they are on the list.
Ohio State. Buckeyes, sorry.
There you go. Thank you.
Oregon Ducks.
Ducks, number 3.
USC Trojans.
The Trojans are up there.
They're in the top 25.
Yeah, they are.
Michigan Wolverines.
You already said.
Yeah, they are there.
He didn't know. He just was
Oh.
talking about Michigan's being there. He said, there you go.
Yeah, the Wolverines
Oh.
are there.
Texas Longhorns.
Texas Longhorns are number 4.
Yeah. The Ole Miss Rebels.
No, Running Rebels are number 6.
I'm just gonna name all the SEC teams.
Oklahoma Sooners.
The Boomer Sooners, yeah, they're
Boomer Sooner.
number 15, I believe.
I'm gonna say this. I don't want to say this, but a guy will go with them damn Gig'ems, Texas Aggies.
The Aggies are up there. Number 20.
I am going to go Penn State Nittany Lions.
The Nittany Lions are up there. Number 9.
I didn't know they was that high.
Yeah.
Let's see.
This is the AP. This is the top 25 coaches poll, by the way.
Coach's poll.
This is the coaches poll, the official one.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the Florida Gators.
No, they're not in the top 25. No.
The crazy part about them
No
is they got
Gators.
the hardest schedule in the nation.
They really do. Their November is
It's
like
brutal.
is one of the craziest freaking things you'll ever see in your life.
A part of me wanted to say War Eagle, but I just couldn't bring myself to say it.
And they weren't up there either, so you were good.
They
They weren't up there either. You guys missed the LSU Tigers.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
see, I
Missouri
was going around
Tigers, the Utah Utes,
Forgot about Utah.
the Oklahoma State Cowboys, number of the NC State Wolfpack was up there, Kansas
Yeah,
Jayhawks.
they expect to have a pretty good year.
Yeah. All right. Question number 4 in shootout. 2 to go. Wrap this thing up. Did you hear this story from? We don't talk about politics on the show, but Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who's running for president as an independent, told one of the craziest stories I've ever heard in my life this week. I guess Vanity Fair was getting ready to put an article out about this, so he had to jump in front of it. Robert F. Kennedy, apparently him and his buddies were out in New York. They found a dead bear cub. It had gotten hit by a car or something. I don't know. So they pick it up, they put it in his car. His intention is to skin it, I guess, and try to eat what they can from the meat. He runs to a meeting. The meeting runs long. He's in New York. He has to get on a plane to leave. So he doesn't know what to do with this bear cub. So he puts it in Central Park, the dead bear cub, and stages it like a bicycle had hit it. I guess they had a bicycle in this truck, too. So they put a bicycle next to a bear cub in Central Park. Ha, 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 ha. And they bounced. Well, a few years back, this became one of the biggest damn stories in New York. Who in New York hit a bear cub with a bicycle? Well, Robert F. Kennedy had to cop to it this week and say, yeah, this was us. We did this. We thought it was funny. And he had to end up telling the story. So it's one of the craziest, most ridiculous stories I've ever heard in my life from a person who's saying, please vote for me for president. Here's the shootout. According to the National Parks Service, animals that you will find residing in our national parks.
Dopey.
Oh, national parks?
National parks. Animals you'll find
Gives me more time to think about it.
in our national parks.
Brown bears.
Bears. We're going to go. We're brown and grizzly. We're going to group them together. They're bears.
Cool.
I can't believe he said brown bear.
Well, I mean, there are different bears.
Brown bear. What do you see?
We have. Well, down here we have black bears.
I'm gonna go with the eagle.
Eagles are in there, yeah.
Moose.
That's the only one I can think of.
Moose is in there as well.
They so mean.
And moose, you don't mess with a moose, dude.
I think these are everywhere, so I'm gonna just say a fox.
Yes, fox is in there. Yep.
Deer. Elk.
Absolutely.
Since we got a bunch of them running around here, coyotes.
Yes, coyotes. Yep, you'll absolutely find coyotes in our national parks.
It's one I had.
Hold on. Go ahead.
Bobcats.
Pumas
or whatever.
No, yeah, we'll give you Bobcat, sure.
Okay.
Rocky and Bullwinkle, a moose.
He already said that.
You said a moose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like the second and third thing.
Can I say a bird?
You already said eagle.
Well, you said eagle. There are other birds if you want to be a little more specific.
What robs people killed off? Buffalo bisons.
There are bison in our national parks. Don't you dare put that shit on me. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you do it. Don't you do it.
I want to say fish.
Oh, I ran out of music. It was almost like the music knew your answer sucked. It just stopped. No, fish was not on here. No.
Really?
We didn't have any fish. Now, granted, that's such a broad, I think they were looking more woodland animals, but...
okay, salmon.
No, there were no specific fish on this list from the National Park
We ain't got
Service.
Water and streams running through national parks.
Apparently we did.
But you know what I always think of was like a mountain goat. Is it on there?
Goats are on here.
Goats,
sheep.
Sheep.
You got ducks and geese. Porcupines, beavers, badgers, that sort of thing. It's all woodland animals.
Yeah, but they swim in water too.
Well, yeah, but they're not fish.
Okay, I forget. I guess bears just starve.
Yeah, they're fine. They eat everything else on this list. They're good.
You're right.
Berries.
It's the Simpsons food chain. It's all the food goes to the bear. That's all it is. All right, last one. We'll wrap this thing up. Snoop's been cashing in, by the way, on the Olympics. We talked about Snoop in the Olympics. Love him there. There are reports he's making $500,000 a day to be in Paris to provide coverage and commentary for the Olympics. And if that's the case, God bless you, sir. You are cashing in. So here's the shootout. According to Billboard and Vibe, the top 25 greatest rappers of all time.
Oh. You want me to start?
Sure.
Jay-Z.
Number 1.
Greatest white rapper of all time, Eminem.
Number 5.
Tupac Shakur.
Number 4.
Biggie Smalls.
Number 6.
Out of Queensbridge, New York, Nas.
Number 3.
How about Kendrick Lamar?
Number 2.
My guy.
There it is.
We'll go with the guy he beat upside the head, Drake.
Drake's number 8. Yeah.
Louise.
Yeah, number 7. Now we're starting to get down the rabbit hole.
Let's go 50 Cent.
Yeah, he's up there.
The guy we doing this show for, Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, Snoop Dogg is absolutely there. Number 9, I believe.
Oh.
Yeah, number 9.
He knows somebody that I'm not thinking of.
Yeah, a bell went off.
I'm going to go Ice Cube.
Ice Cube is on here, yes.
Cool.
The 18th letter, Rakim. Rakim.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom.
Rakim, the god.
Yep.
Boom, 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 boom.
DMX.
Yes, DMX is on this list.
LL Cool J.
LL Cool J, of course, on the list.
No,
Was that your LL impression, by the way? Is that what
Licking
that
my
was?
lips. No, I was licking my lips like
Oh,
LL.
okay, yeah. I was like, damn, we got impressions in this week's game. Shit.
Are there any women on this list? Seriously?
Oh, look Kim.
No.
Damn.
Yes.
Wow, that was some bait. If I ever, holy shit, you just hung that out there for me.
But my thing is, when
That
you start
was-
talking about women rappers, Lil Kim, you ain't getting too far before Lil Kim is one of the ones that
Nicki Minaj
Yeah, Nicki
is number
Minaj.
10.
Yeah.
And then Missy Elliott,
Yeah.
number 16.
Yeah.
Those were the 2 that made the
So-
top 25. Ones you missed: Kanye West,
Yeah.
Andre 3000, J. Cole, Big Daddy Kane, Ghostface Killer.
Big Daddy Kane's on there?
Yeah, Big Daddy Kane's on
is
this
one of
list.
the pioneers.
I'm
KRS
shocked
One
that
and
people
Method
say
Man.
that.
KRS
You know,
One.
it's funny,
KRS One and Method Man.
They've
Shout out
always
to
considered KRS-One like one of the best rappers of all time.
He's one of the greatest lyricists ever.
Yeah.
Really good, man. One of the all-time best. So.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. That's this week's game. Apparently,
No
I
Chuck
killed.
D?
No Chuck D. Chuck D not on the list. I know that's some bullshit.
When you said women, I mean, like I said, God, I mean, I get there's Nicki Minaj, but a lot of them come from the Lil Kim tree. If there was no Lil
But
Kim,
I
I could now if they didn't like you should have said Queen Latifah before you said that.
yeah,
True.
that's
Like,
true.
true.
That's
I
true.
get it.
Queen Latifah definitely deserved to be on the list. She's
yeah,
not.
true.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she
All right,
doesn't.
y'all can take these complaints. You can send them to Billboard. you fight with those assholes, not with me.